brothers, sisters, and friends. For a long time, many of us in the Theosophical Society have wanted to explain, and perhaps many of us have done it, about what is Theosophy and what is the Theosophical Society. I must tell you, Theosophy is the vehicle of Theosophy is the Theosophical Society. And Theosophy is a term that stands for divine wisdom, Theosophia. And Theosophy has been in existence for eons of time, but has been given that term quite some time ago. And the Theosophical Society is the vehicle of Theosophy. It is the wisdom of the gods or divine wisdom, as H.P. Blavatsky enunciates in her Key to Theosophy. The Theosophical Society was founded by Madam H.P. Blavatsky and Colonel H.S. Olcott with 14 others in the year 1875 in the city of New York. It was November the 17th. The society's objects evolved into 3 objects, and they are to form a nucleus of the universal brotherhood of humanity without distinction of race, creed, sex, caste, or color. The second is to encourage a comparative study of religion, philosophy, and science. And the third is to investigate unexplained laws of nature and the powers latent in man. Now, what does the first one stand for? It stands for universal compassion and a compassion towards all sentient beings, particularly of humanity, without any distinction, whoever you may be. So, things that involve, discrimination based on your birth and your upbringing, everything is not accepted by Theosophists. That's very important, and it's a very major pillar of the Theosophical Society. The comparative study is that many people think that religion and science are opposed to each other, and philosophy is in a different direction. Theosophy brings them all together. Theosophy understands that there is a certain esoteric truth in each religion, and those truths are comparable, and ultimately everything is one. That Supreme Spirit is one. So therefore, a lot of study and publications go into a comparative religion, philosophy, and science. And the latest scientific discoveries are also showing that science and philosophy are not opposed to religion, but rather, in consonance with it. The third is to show humanity that within themselves is an infinite power, and around us is an infinite power that envelops us in the universe, and the powers latent in the human being include not only memory and extrasensory perception and all the siddhis, as they call them in Sanskrit, but also a deep sense of compassion and wisdom. And therefore, we find that it is important for us to understand that we should go within and develop ourselves such that we envelop the whole of all living beings. Now, if you look at the motto of the Theosophical Society, it has been donated to it by the Maharaja of Benares, and it's a very beautiful, Sanskrit statement from the Hindu scriptures. It says, Satya nasti paro dharma, and it means there is no religion higher than truth. In other words, there is no dharma higher than truth. The word dharma has many meanings, which means that truth and universal brotherhood or sisterhood or whatever you choose to call it, they are the two great pillars of the Theosophical Society. Now, among the books that one can study, I may suggest a few. They are not particularly, easy to absorb, but profoundly meaningful and quite simple when you read it. The first is At the Feet of the Master by Alcione, another name for the reincarnating ego of J. Krishnamurti. The second is The Voice of the Silence. That largely is a translation of the Book of Golden Precepts and brought to us by Madam H.P. Blavatsky, our principal founder. And the third is The Light on the Path, which is from ancient scriptures and has been put together by Mabel Collins. If you wish to, you may also study The Theosophical Life by Annie Besant. And if you want to get into more details of the subject of theosophy, one should study the Key to Theosophy, which is in question and answer form and put together by Madam H.P. Blavatsky. The international headquarters of the Theosophical Society, although founded in New York, is now finally in Adyar, in Chennai, in South India. So most people are welcome to visit the estate's premises and see the beautiful commonality, all places of worship, and the oneness of life and of all sentient beings. This, in essence, is theosophy.